time, and he only ganks when he can find a kill.
Yeah, and he's also ganking at the appropriate times for objectives as well. MLXG just wants to kill people, so he'll just go in whenever he feels like it. But Amy wants to create those pressure points when they're required on the map, and that is the very big difference here. But we are into Champion Select, ladies and gentlemen. Thresh and Civ are going to be taken away by UP, and Victor and Rise now both removed from the RNG lineup. Punish not going to see sort of his most played champion, but Xiaohu's picked up a whole lot of that Victor as well.
Yeah, Victor, one of the most played champions from Punished, and a very strong control mage of this guy that does love the assassin, so it kind of limits his options in what he wants to pick, or his play style more so, because he does tend to default to those assassins. LeBlanc, not very strong at the moment, so he almost wants to go to the Kassadin or the Azirs perhaps. Use that as an assassin style.
But UP, the Ezreal has been left up. They are cycling through a whole lot of different picks here.
Just go with the Ezreal, honestly.
Yeah, well, it does make a whole lot of sense. Echo and Kalista were banned away while we're having that conversation. But Ezreal, of course, going to be locked in here by Long. And I'm surprised that RNG didn't ban that one away.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to ban it away. We are on 512. Ezreal is in his prime right now. The Luden's Echo does work still with the Qs from Ezreal once he has that item available. So it's a very smart first pick, but that was a quick response.
Yeah, Alistair, of course, massive high-tier support champion at the moment, and Shen been seeing a whole lot more play. Of course, actually moving on to the 5.13 patch, we've been seeing Shen pick up a whole lot in popularity, but still more than happy to play him here on 512. And Amy, considering a bit of early pressure here from the jungle.
Most likely want that early pressure, potentially to match what MLXG can put out. Might be a forethought to what the RNG strategy is going to be. Maybe taking Gragas away as well could be a very smart decision. Gragas ganks, you have to flash body slam. It's almost impossible to avoid.
Yep.
So very smart decision if they take that, or they could match it with the same early pressure.
Yeah, grab the Rek'Sai. It's similar thing here, and I actually quite like it paired up with this Ezreal. Of course, going to need a little bit of time to scale it to the point where he does have that Runeglaive in order to get the damage down, because having Smite in the mid lane means that you're sort of a bit useless as far as getting anything down as far as pressure onto the enemy laner is concerned for that, until you manage to pick up that enchantment.
Very much inhibited in terms of your strength in laning phase because you have the Smite. You don't have an offensive or defensive summoner, and that allows RNG Xiaohu in this case to pick something super aggressive and just bring it to you for the first 15 minutes of the game and really pressure you and delay your items perhaps, which is a big power spike gone awry.
Wow, MLXG actually going for the Evelynn pickup. The Runeglaive hasn't actually been buffed just yet. Did get buffed in 5.13. So Evelynn pickup, of course, Runeglaive still existing. We'll see whether he is going to choose that one there or whether he goes back to the Warrior Enchant. But Scatch is going to grab Vayne, and that's a cannon.
That's interesting. I was about to talk about the fact that they just picked an Evelynn into a Rek'Sai, but let's move over to Unlimited Potential. Vayne Cannon. That's aggressive. That is a lot of in-your-face damage. Vayne most likely Scatch will play it in an aggressive manner because he has the cannon to back it up. We're not looking at a Kalista cannon combo. That has to be damage put down through auto attacks, and it's into an Alistar and a Corki. So that says to me, if they want 2v2 lanes, they're going to have a really bad time. I would wager a lane swap.
Or Cannon could potentially go into the top lane as well if they want to switch that one.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Nautilus more than happy
Sorry,
to
there is
support.
a Nautilus there.
But does look like you're absolutely correct. The most that we've seen Cannon has been in that support role, and by the looks of things, the Jace going to be picked up by Xiaohu. Last pick there, more than happy to grab that comfort champion as it sort of began to be known here for the mid laner of RNG.
Yeah, definitely. And from the looks of it, the Ezreal also going for Smite mid. So it could...
Wait, no, Ignite mid.
Oh, sorry, Ignite mid. Yeah. I didn't mean to say Smite. That's what I'm expecting.
No, he switched over now. He switched over now. So it was Ignite for a moment,
he has
but
rused
don't
us.
worry, guys. Yeah, it was just a cunning ruse.
That was a ruse.
One could say. Coach is going to shake hands here, and we are going to be getting onto the Rift very, very soon. I'm excited to get into this game because I want to see whether the Jace pick can actually weather the storm of the Ezreal. And do you think that RNG have brought enough to the table to try and sort of counteract what is an incredibly strong Ezreal at the moment?
So in the 1v1, the Jace is actually quite happy. He's actually very strong because he has an all-in function behind the fact that Ezreal does a fair bit of damage with scaling. Jace matches that and almost does it better.
Well, we'll see whether they can actually utilize it. Of course, Let Me there in the top lane does have that Shen available, can get around the map with the Stand United. Amy wanting to keep track of this Evelynn as best he can, as MLXG going to take that into the matchup.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, Rusty, it's an interesting idea. Of course, Tremor Sense, pretty useful against Evelynn.
Definitely useful. It's difficult for an Evelynn to do anything when you can have a Rek'Sai sitting on the sides.
Yeah, precisely. But Scatch has decided to grab the Vayne into Corki. We've seen it picked up more and more because he can tumble out of the way of the phosphorus bomb. Players do like to pick up that champion, but apart from that, I have a feeling that Corki does okay.
Corki definitely does okay. The thing with the Vayne Corki matchup is Corki wins burst, Vayne would almost win like a 3 auto burst, so it's about the length of the trade as to who actually comes out ahead. If a phosphorus bomb auto connects and Corki can leave that situation and not be stuck with a cannon stun, then Corki's winning that. But in other words, it's going to be Vayne if it keeps going.
Yeah, so basically, if Woosh wants to be able to win a trade, he just needs to be fighting very short amounts of time.
Yeah.
But we are going to hop onto the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited to get into this game. I have no clue. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for UP versus RNG. Game 1, first game of Week 8. Very excited to get this one underway. And UP already stacking together, waiting
here we go.
for RNG. Lay's going to face check it. MLXG, he's been discovered. Lay manages to get a nice pulverize, splashes out. First blood goes to Zhao, who is Amy's going to have to get over the wall. MLXG following with the hate spikes, but only at 200 health. UP going to follow it up, picks up a kill for the Vayne of all characters, as Sketch forced to tumble back under the turret.
That was a nightmare.
That was. It's 1-for-1. RNG with a 100 gold lead as the dust settles.
You have to keep in mind who actually got the first blood in this situation. Sketch in the bot lane on Vayne. That's going to be nice, but then mid lane Jace, who can potentially start with anything extra, has decided to just walk to the lane to speed up that tier buy. That is going to be an accelerated Jace if I've ever seen one.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not going to go for the Shock Blast acceleration gate pun because that'd just be awful. He's heading back to the top side. Does have Taunt first, so not going to have very much lane pressure here against the Nautilus, but Nautilus not necessarily known for having that power as far as getting a kill against anyone is concerned. MLXG just wanting to wait, use his smite at the very last second. Does look like he's going to die, but he'll be okay there as long as he's getting some staggering blows onto here on the top side.
Yeah, he's going to destroy that top lane because the taunt came out at level 1, and the Ezreal actually leveled up W at level 1 also, so his wave clear is quite weak if Jace wanted to push him in, or just gank him with an Evelyn.
Yeah, it does look like the level 2 gank could be a possibility as punished.
Whoa!
Zhao Hu taking 2 turret shots.
That's not necessary.
No, it certainly wasn't.
It's just proving a point, showing his dominance in the lane. He has the flash available to outplay Punished, who only has smite because there is no flash, so kind of limited to 0 summoner spells in effective trading. MLXG is aggressive.
Yeah, MLXG looking to try and create some pressure here on the bottom side of the map as well. Let me bring his way down here at the same time as he's just going to be shoved out. Wasn't able to do that very, very effectively with that E, and MLXG hasn't been spotted yet.
There it is.
Yeah, Headbutt Pulse is available.
That was very risky by MLXG, to be honest. He waited for about 30 seconds for Alistar's level 2 to then not gank. So his jungle is really behind now. You have a look at Amy, already level 3, able to gank bottom with a level advantage. Going to be quite happy and not waste as much time.
Not Punished now, sitting at about half health, has to drink all of these potions. Of course, biscuits, if you want to get it correct. And UP have shoved this bottom wave in. So MLXG will see whether he does decide to come back, but UP at the moment with so much control over this lane.
Definitely. They've got that first blood kill for the Vayne as well, so that's always going to be massive in terms of their strength. The experience advantage was the big issue with that. They had level 2 so early that it was difficult for RNG to have any kind of trades. And this is where the slight advantage did favor unlimited potential, but the lane itself now, level 3, it's going to reset back to standard quite easily. Vayne hasn't bought anything to have an actual advantage.
Yeah, sort of more consumables game here by Sketch. Of course, not sort of stuck to the one potion, but that is going to be helpful here. Of course, Vayne struggles as far as any sustain is concerned until probably that Bilgewater Cutlass is picked up.
Definitely has a lot of sustain with that item, and I mean, response from Woosh is not going to be any problem. That's minions.
Yeah, Lei was looking for the headbutt pole onto a minion in order to get both Sketch and Heart, but they just wanted out of the way. It'll be fine. Nice phosphorus bomb there onto Heart. Fair bit of damage down as RNG, they've successfully pushed this wave back in.
Yeah, they're actually quite happy, and I mean, top lane, this is actually as expected right now. Let me not able to start with any damage or trade capabilities. Has put himself in an awkward position to try and get kills early. And this is where Long, having very early base damages that are just super high, that Nautilus does possess, the Riptide able to hit multiple times. He's actually in a very strong position in this lane to just bully him around. And it's actually working out quite well. Shen being stuck under a turret is exactly where you want him no matter the stage of the game.
Yeah, is even in farm, so he's going to be fine. That key strike, of course, quite good.
Heart.
Oh, yeah, Lei able to find the Pulverize very easily. Headbutted back in. Heart's going to die. MLXG picks up the kill there. Sketch gets a condemn on the Lei into the wall, but it looks like he was just mad about his support falling down. So 1-2 now in favor of RNG.
Of all places to recall, that could not have been any worse of luck right there. Three members coming around, spotting him out in a horrendous position. Honestly, just unlucky, but also a very smart play from this RNG side to try and find the cannon, who they assumed was roaming to place down vision or something. Instead, he was just recalling.
Sort of thought he'd be smart there, Hart. Out of vision range.
Yeah.
Decides to back. Just gets killed. Very, very sad stuff. But as you can see, Amy just rocketing through this jungle. 12 monster camps ahead of MLXG, who's now decided to pick a fight with Punish.
Probably going to regret that.
Level 4, you take about 400 damage from that particular ultimate out of Punished. MLXG going to definitely regret his decision.
Not ideal, to say the least. But Ezreal, being level 6, was looking to recall for that Sheen as well to increase his relevance in the laning phase. Xiaohu has the tier and the pickaxe completed, so this guy is a monster at the moment. Very difficult to lane against as an Ezreal with a smite. But in saying that, you have to look at MLXG again. 11 CS to the 27 of Amy, a Sightstone in favor of this Rek'Sai in the jungle. It's not necessarily useful against an Eve, unless you put it directly on the camps, but if one person from Unlimited Potential can put them onto camp, it's going to be Amy.
Yeah, and Amy, of course, loves being able to get around the map, put himself in the right positions. Nice little Wolf Spirit is going to spot out the Rek'Sai heading towards the bottom side, so UP's jungler notified about as far as RNG are concerned, and he's going to be MLXG on the other side of the map. Just looking to try and pick up some farm, heading back to his red buff to grab that for the second time.
Yeah, he's trying to catch up now, essentially. The advantage well and truly in Unlimited Potential's favor, besides this mid lane, which is just an overbearing force that Punish needs to respect. He's going to be able to farm quite alright, that he's an Ezreal after all, in saying that one mistake, one misstep, and Xiaohu will punish you indefinitely.
He's doing the very best that he can. Let me here on the top side of the map. Army Cinder has been built up by this Shen. Bit of extra health there from the Ruby Crystal at the same time, and let me pretty comfortable right now in this lane.
Definitely comfortable. There's no real threat of dying, especially because you have the Cinder. It can match the pushing that a Nautilus can put out with that Riptide. So actually quite happy in the laning phase, especially when you're not under your tower, because as we mentioned earlier, Lung wants to keep him under the turret to stop the potential ultimates. He has a lot of ways to stop that. But if Letme's pushing, then he can disappear for a second. And then be gone.
Getting shadow dashed just momentarily. Can't actually win these trades against Let Me. The Vorpal Blade, so much sustain over a long laning period.
Yeah, and especially if the taunt connects because of the damage reduction that you can put down onto what is high base damages but not high damage output. So if the taunt does connect, Shen generally wins every trade ever.
Yeah, sort of just the thing about Shen. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage for a very long period of time though, so no one going to be dying. I think the wet noodle fight does seem to be pretty accurate as far as this top lane is concerned. You can see RNG back in control of this bottom lane, as Whoosh has managed to pick up the Sheen. Makings of a Phage as well, getting towards that Trinity Force as quickly as he can. In response, it is going to be the Vampiric Scepter and the Recurve Bow. So Sketch sort of mixing things up with some components, but still going towards that Blade of the Ruined King. Of
course, the Recurve Bow now giving a base amount of damage on top of the attack speed. A nice factor into why you may want to go for that. Gives you a lot of outplay, probably matching the Silver Bolt first.
And RNG, a team that lacked Dragon pressure early on. Amy actually going to get headbutted out of the way. Nice true shot barrage. MLXG going to lock down the Dragon. Lei forced to use the flash, but UP, they're looking like they might want to pick something up. Hart only level 5 at the moment. Lei as well, he's going to fall down as Sketch pops the final hour. MLXG looking to try and just get out of here as Xiaohu getting hunted down by this Vayne. Silverbolt's not going to find any kills, but they are going to be able to grab themselves a blue buff.
They lost the Dragon, but they did find a kill onto the Alistar, who headbutted Amy away from the Dragon pit. So basically sacrificing himself to stop a smite steal from Amy. He pays for it with his life flashing back into the Dragon Pit, but the flank was there to catch him out. They did make a trade for it, so it's well played from Unlimited Potential to ensure they get something for it. They don't just outright lose a Dragon. They still did lose the Dragon, though.
MLXG and Woosh
Whoa.
actually might find hard here. Woosh does use the Valkyrie. There's the Stand United as well. Condemn on MLXG, but he does close the distance again. Teleport coming in from the top side of the map as MLXG forced to use the flash. Lung going to get knocked up, but this Eve definitely needs to run away. Let me finding his way back in, wants to get the top, but look at the knock up from Lung. Woosh getting taken down so low, forced to use the flash. Amy turns his attention to Lei now, who's still only level 5. True Shot Barrage is going to nail Woosh, and Lei, no flash available, going to get flashed on by Amy, and Hart picks himself up another one, and now UP scream ahead as far as these kills are concerned.
At first I thought that was going to be horrendous for Unlimited Potential. The Shen ultimate came in, negated everything. Amy just being cute right now, but the teleport from Lung, even Amy hesitated to continue to follow that one until the hook connected onto Corki. They followed it up, 3-man knockups, and then everyone, the cavalry, re-arrived essentially and followed that up. It was all on the back of Lung right there though.
And Punish, without leaving the mid lane as well, was able to pick up a kill with his True Shot Barrage.
Well,
so even helping out the mid laner here, which was sort of where RNG managed to find some success.
You know, one of the things about AP Ezreal and what makes him so strong is without leaving mid lane, he can win other lanes.
Yeah.
So the fact that he could find a kill there is going to help in his laning in particular, because he is down by a fair amount of CS, just lost his turret in a 1v1 situation, but he can still use the ultimate to impact everywhere else. And that is a big factor into how this game could continue to pan out.
Well, we'll see how it does go. Of course, 12 minutes into the game, 1,000 gold lead approximately for UP. RNG just looking to clear things up. Lei, now with the level 6, going to have that Unbreakable Will to try and get more things done, as Let Me doesn't want to get stunned here as Hart doesn't quite have enough time on that Lightning Rush, and Sketch blew the ultimate. They're pretty keen to try and kill Shen.
Super keen right there. They've swapped lanes to pressure the top side from the looks of the teleport.
Yeah, Let Me. Teleport advantage is available. There's the Pulverize onto Lung. Shadow Dash there as well as RNG. They're sending everyone towards the bottom side. And they do manage to pick up the kill. True Shot Barrage onto Woosh one more time. Seems to have some sort of Corki magnet on it. Woosh is going to head back to base, but no joy for UP. They lose the turret and the top lane.
If you want a magnet on anything, definitely that. But they have sent their their AD carry support duo to the top lane. They're making a trade. It's a slow process, but will most likely come to fruition very soon. In saying that, 5 members sent bottom, and this is a patient Amy looking to make something happen. Let Me's only got 1 minion left. Yeah, Amy's just soaking experience apparently.
Yeah, he's just chilling out. He may have gone to get a drink or something like that, but instead just going to hold this wave. Make sure that Lung gets all of the farm that he needs. Possibly even freeze it if he wanted to there on the bottom side of the map, but Amy just going to let him do what he wants and pick himself up a red buff.
Yeah, just going to go do his buffs, and you're right, the bot lane is potentially frozen, but it's a Nautilus after all, so I would be surprised if it actually is. And something worth noting is that Ezreal damage does nothing right now against the Jace, who's just got levels, and Jace is doing damage.
Yeah, this is the power spike as well for Xiaohu. He's got the Brutalizer and the Manamune. Not one of these champions that does necessarily need the Muramana transform as hard. He's going to get headbutt pulverized over the wall. MLXG looking for the hate spike kills, but there's the Stand United on top of the Evelynn. Hart's going to fall down. Let Me gets the flash. Shadow Dash, and Sketch is super dead. No Mystic shots to find this RNG lineup, and they're grouping so early this game, but it's paying off.
Definitely paying off. They're getting trades everywhere, though, Unlimited Potential. This is the saving grace of them right now. Nautilus bot lane. The only difference is RNG are finding kills when they do this. The aggression, the rotation, and the number game well and truly in their favor. The minion control has been working out for them in that respect. They're still going.
Yeah, Xiaohu actually tanking up this turret one more time. Seems to love tower bolts, but the inner turret's going to fall down. Accelerated shock blast onto Hart halves his health as UP looking to try and close the distance. But with acceleration gates, all sorts of movement speed abilities, is going to mean RNG managed to escape unhindered.
Yeah, so Xiaohu's actually the big factor in this right now. Evelynn, the catalyst to make things happen, finding a lot of ganks. Her positioning and timing has been spot on. But Xiaohu now 3-0. Has all of his items except that last Whisper completed, and it is well and truly on the way. Unlimited Potential, they could try and respond with the group of their own right now, but if the Jace is there, it is infinitely harder for them to do a single thing. Whereas if RNG group, they're the ones in the driver's seat to make things happen on the back of this Jace's strength. But Ezreal cannot be compared.
Yeah, the thing that could be a problem here, though, is if Xiaohu doesn't manage to pick up this blue buff, which he certainly wants, it is going to get stolen away. UP grabbed that one. True Shot Barrage wanted to be able to grab one for punish, but not going to find it.
Guys, I wanted that.
Yeah.
It's unlucky.
This time. But RNG, Dragon has respawned, so looking to try and pick up their second, deny the first to UP, and they have started it up already. There's the Scrying Orb.
The teleport.
They know exactly what's going on here. Are going to be able to pick up the Dragon. UP, can they engage in time, though? Look at the Mystic Shot damage, doing some work. Hart getting the ultimate over everyone. Xiaohu's going to get stunned up and destroyed. Punish picks up that kill. The members of RNG so incredibly low. UP picks up a double for the Ezreal. One for Scatch on the Vayne at the same time. Big one. Fair bit of damage onto the UP lineup from Whoosh, but RNG, they grab the Dragon, and everyone dies.
That was so impressive from Hart. What more can you say? He was that fight right there. Amy follows up really nicely. Long does the same. Punished finds himself a double kill, putting down all of the relevant damage. But the fact that that engage from Hart hit every single member. The Righteous Glory used by Nautilus, he flashed in and ulted and stunned basically all of them and got out with his life as well. That was so well played by Hart, and that enabled them to follow it up and come out with kills.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of squishy members on the side of RNG. Only let me there with any tanky stats as MLXG maybe now going to be building towards sort of the tanky. Evelyn has sort of seen a little bit more popularity with the Runeglaive into full tank as opposed to getting the Warrior Enchanter to do the same thing.
I guess the thing with Runeglaive Eve is that it's not really cost efficient if you don't have much ability power to back it up, which is why a lot of Eves go Warrior into the tanky stats.
Yep.
Runeglaive still does a lot of sleeper damage though. It's just more directed onto the Q more so than the E's. I think Xiaohu just jumped into the wall.
Yeah, Xiaohu is going to be able to take down a blue buff though. Shock Blast going to secure that one. Hart heading back to base. A little bit out of position there, but a lot of vision available for this UP lineup means that he's going to get away safely. Xiaohu continuing to farm out here in the mid lane.
You can see the pink ward placement as well from this unlimited potential side is entirely on the top half of the map. It's about to spot the Evelyn. So they know what's going on. The pings are coming down from mid.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's sort of pinging onto UP. Amy just clearing out that ward. So he's going to be discovered. Hart clearing out a ward there as well. Gives the gold over to Scatch. Shock Blast just barely misses the little ninja rat.
It feels like such a non-impactful Shock Blast in this skin unless it hits.
Oh yeah.
It almost feels like you're blowing bubbles at their face until it actually connects and it really does hurt them. So the deceptive strength of the skin that Xiaohu has.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was sort of strategic decisions to be made by which Jace skin used.
Oh,
Xiaohu takes half of his health. He was going back anyway though.
Whoosh wasn't though.
No, Whoosh probably should now.
Yeah. Might want to reconsider his position in the laning phase, but a nice ult for Punish. The strength of the AP Ezreal has the Luden's Echo right now with his Runeglaive and Lucidity boots. So stacking the CDR. MLXG's about to stop when he's not playing.
Yeah, and Ezreal not quite as strong in the 5.13 patch. And why is that? Why did he sort of fall off? Because Runeglaive hasn't been nerfed. It's in fact being buffed.
It's the way that you actually work around proccing the Runeglaive. It changes the itemization options from the AP Ezreal to not have the Luden's Echo because it's definitely just not worth it anymore. So the strength is more spiky, it's not constant.
Oh, okay. Well, RNG 4-man strong heading towards the mid lane. They do have a lot of damage to turrets. True Shot Barrage is going to rip through these minions though. Xiaohu staying true to himself, tanking up that turret for as long as possible.
I'm seeing a trend here with Xiaohu and tanking turrets, but making it work. They don't really need to commit to anything too outrageous. They do have the Jace strength well and truly backing them now with poke. They may not want a hard engage, but you look at unlimited potential side, they pretty much want a hard engage. They don't want the Jace to have any impact pre to a fight. Oh my, dead.
Yep, here's all that Mystic Shot. Barely missing Lei there. Did have the ultimate.
No.
But
Oh, Lei did, yeah.
Decides he's not going to use it because how could Punish kill it from full health? That's how.
With his spells.
Yeah.
AP Ezreal starting to scale, that's for sure. Very scary at the moment. He actually hesitated a little bit. He could have very easily had the kill there if he just did the full combo immediately. But you can just see the strength of him right now. Punished is becoming a beast.
Yeah, well, there's the Agony's Embrace from MLXG, forcing the flash out of Heart over the Dragon Wall. So no flash into the Slicing Maelstrom available for Heart for the next 5 minutes. That's a big deal here for RNG because that was a massive reason why UP won the last fight.
It was almost the entirety of the reason as well. So the fact that that is down, a big win for this RNG side. They can work around their strengths. The Corki well and truly ramping up in his strengths at the moment. The Sorkshoe's Trinity Force done. They can siege very well if they aren't engaged on. So the fact that the cannon has no flash helps with that. But keeping in mind, they've got the Righteous Glory on long. They don't necessarily need that for the cannon, but it looks to be getting built as well. Not going for the Talisman option. So they're going to have a lot of hard engage options besides the flash, and that's what the Righteous Glory is there to facilitate. Another option.
Yeah, making sure they've got as many as possible. True Shot Barrage launches itself towards the top side of the map, and Punish just seems to be throwing it out off cooldown. You know, hit or miss, fine. You miss every single True Shot Barrage you don't throw.
But if you hit one, it changes the game. That's the thing with AP Ezreal. You have a Luden's Echo, you have a Rune Glaive, so your Q constantly lowering the cooldown of your ultimate by 1 second with every Mystic shot that does connect, and then you just throw out your ultimate again.
Yep, things really working out. But as we have been watching this game, Whoosh pulling ahead as far as this farm is concerned. 178 to 129 in favor of this Corki player. And now that he has that Trinity Force, of course, the Last Whisper now looks to be built up as the next item here for Whoosh. Getting some advantages here for himself. Definitely. Oh, actually, MLXG is going to super die in the mid lane as Heart. Slicing Maelstrom, seems like Lightning Rush is enough to catch up to the Evelyn.
Oh, he's going.
Yeah, flash depth charge there. Xiaohu's going to flash over the red wall. Valkyrie out for Whoosh, and as Punish looking to try and pick up the kill onto Xiaohu, but not going to find it here. And
they going for Baron?
Yeah, okay. Lei's flanking.
Punish has low mana. Heart's low health, but they are committing.
Yeah, big one does find Sketch and Punish there as well, as this Baron still not too low. Stand United on top of Lei here as well. Gets a nice knockoff. It is going to be taken. The Baron there from the smite out of the mid laner is Lung trying to keep himself alive. RNG just taking so much damage in this fight. True Shot Barrage does find Let Me, but not the Jace this time around. Punish just doing so much damage at the moment. And Whoosh,
come on.
He's dead. Punish is looking for some more mana. Yeah, he's just ran out. His acceleration gate does come down. Xiaohu still with a lot of damage available. Not a lot of turrets to run back to here as well. He's running in the wrong direction, but of course inner turret was taken down earlier on. Acceleration gate, not going to dodge out of the way of the dredge line, and he's going to be dead this time around. Let Me shadow dashing over the Baron wall, but definite victory there for UP. Definitely,
of course. Punish having that smite, securing the Baron as well, actually getting mana back to use spells with everything he was putting down. Having the Trailblazer helps with that.
Oh yeah.
So being able to actually have relevance in the fight afterwards, where he was quite low in mana, turns around, gives them a big advantage. The gold lead has completely stretched. And as we mentioned just before the fact, the Corki Whoosh has a lot of farm. It's not really saving the rest of his team right now as the 3k gold lead is formed. And the Ezreal is forming a big spike in power.
Oh yeah, now ahead in farm as well. Was down just a little bit, but they pick up their first dragon, as you mentioned.
Yeah, okay, so I was going to say he has a lot of gold. He just bought almost a full death cap.
Yeah. This Ezreal is going to be a complete menace. 4-0 and 4. 8 out of the 10 kills as well, like 80% kill participation for this mid lane Ezreal. Just shows you exactly how effective the True Shot Barrage is at affecting all of the lanes at once, because he wasn't moving from that mid lane in the early stages of the game.
He couldn't move from the lane. Xiaohu kept him down as much as he could, had the first blood, but I guess Jace, in that respect, is only good at pressuring, not completely all-inning. It is super difficult to get onto an Ezreal. Ezreal's pretty good at getting onto Xiaohu, apparently.
Yeah, seems to just use an ultimate. He takes a third of his health.
Almost like it's global.
Pretty ridiculous. Well, Heart looking to try and get some pressure down under this bottom inner turret. UP with the Baroned up minions, a massive stack of them as well. Sketch just free hitting onto this. There's the pulverize, but Lei doesn't hit anyone with it. Final hour's being popped as the true damage from Sketch doing a whole bunch of work. There's the Stand United. Sketch actually did a whole lot of damage to that shield and tanked up the turret there as well. But RNG, they have lost a member. And a turret now as well. Shadow Dash from Lemmin. Gonna get stunned up there by the staggering blows, but RNG looks like they're going to be able to disengage from this, but they still lose the turret.
Punish just wants to keep pushing his luck right now. The rest of his side pinging to back off. They get a very easy turret for their troubles. The numbers advantage was not even in their favor. You could see RNG trying to make an engage. They knew they had the advantage. There was one top, Ezreal was mid. That was the signal to go, but they couldn't go. They could not make it happen as the pink ward trolls that Raptor sense. He's wondering where the ward is. Cannot get it.
Yep, a little bit frustrating there as Yahoo and Letme going to be running
There's a ward
through.
for you.
Yeah, Punish going to be able to pick up at least one ward. There we are, nailed it. Letme going to head back to base, grab himself some health back. MLXG with his sweeper here towards the top side, just trying to reconsolidate some vision, but RNG, they're falling dangerously behind. Oh, he's found Punish there, but Amy, he's looking for it as well. True Shot Barrage is going to mean that this Evelyn is very close to dead. It's going to be taken down there, is punished by Lei, and somehow MLXG survives.
So a nice ward placed a lot earlier from this RNG side. Makes a pick onto Punished. That's big, but Punished also just completed a death cap, so as big as that pick was, he's had enough time to now buy, get some more items, and then you have to look at the rest of his side. They're ramping up massively. The Vayne is huge. Hart has been making things happen irrespective of the fact that he's 1-4. His impact has been noticed in this game. The top lane, Long, has been facilitating this all to happen, and Amy's just been putting in work.
Oh yeah, Amy has been all around this map. 2-0 and 5. Does have the Randuins completed as well. Decided to go with the Cinderhulk. Just wanted to grab some more tankiness on this lineup because they've got a lot of damage.
They do.
Well, Jaho actually going to get knocked up here by Amy. Of course, decides to take no damage. Mostly owing to his build there as well. As Long looking to take down some Raptors. Tunnel's going to get destroyed.
I guess
RNG.
The thing that really was a big factor in this early game rotation from the RNG side is MLXG putting a lot of pressure into lanes, but not finding success with those pressure points that he placed. He's been putting a lot of time into it, sinking that time, whereas we sort of saw Amy was just farming the jungle. He was just PvEing as long as possible. Now he's a beast. He's really big. MLXG's far from that, really.
Yeah, and this is the same story of RNG that we see most of the time. Is the fact that MLXG tries to make things happen, but he's trying far too hard and letting himself fall far too far behind.
Yeah, it's the risk-reward factor. MLXG puts all of it into the risk column.
Eggs are in one basket, Rusty.
All in one basket. He did not find the rewards so far in this game, but they're still scaling all right. They've got the Jace Corki, so there's a window where they do drop off in terms of their power, but you have to look at the Jace, say he's stacking magic resistance, so he's not looking to get any stronger in terms of damage output. He's looking to actually survive a fight. You look at the Corki, working towards a Blade of the Ruined King, will still continue to stack in power, but it's not comparable to that of a Vayne. So their window is starting to get smaller. The door is closing. Punish is still taking damage though.
Yeah, nice shock blast there from Xiao, who's still doing, like you mentioned, relatively decent damage to this Ezreal. He doesn't have a whole lot of tanky stats. There's the shock blast as Punish forced to use the flash, and Shadow Dash lands onto Punish. Letme grabs the kill there as Hart, he's engaged on the other side. Whoosh going to get taken down very low. Nice three-man pulverizes. Whoosh manages to survive that little bit longer. Hart's going to fall down. Manages to take down the Vayne as well. Letme gets the Shadow Dash onto Amy, who's very tanky, but not tanky enough. And RNG, they may even break the base off this.
They should be able to break the base. They've got a minion wave. They could get this inhibitor at the very least. 20 seconds remaining on every member of the Unlimited Potential side. That was just caught in rotation right there. Punish found himself completely caught out of position. MLXG stalking him for an extended period of time. They find him with his pants down, completely unaware. They turn that into an inhibitor on the back of a single pick. Now Punish is doing damage, but so is this RNG side. As I said, the window was getting smaller, their opportunities closing on them, but they found one at the ideal time.
Yeah, Looks actually found Letme here. His Shadow dashes away. Hart finds his way in as well. This could be actually the pick onto the Shen. Did use the flash in order to try and get himself to safety. Shadow Dash going to be available pretty soon. Gets over the Dragon Pit. Dragon actually coming back up. Very nice.
Well timed for Unlimited Potential to maybe go for that Dragon immediately. Everyone recalling from RNG. They just don't have vision around the area. In saying that,
Baron's
they
up.
may just go for the Baron, knowing that they're near the Dragon.
Yeah, MLXG is hanging around here. They do have the vision available. cleared out. All of these pink wards now dying on the side of UP. Long and Amy, not a whole lot of damage here, but they are going to be able to secure that dragon because they're not taking any damage at all.
Yeah, they'll take the dragon easily, and Ezreal even using that ultimate to ensure they're not doing the Baron in the meanwhile. So smart play here. They didn't get the pick onto the Shen, but they had the numbers advantage well and truly in their favor. They make it work, and they get something for it. But in saying that, they've lost their inhibitor now. The gold leader's shrunk indefinitely. It's about 1,400 gold between them at the moment. And RNG are the ones in control of the Baron area, ready to go.
Yeah, Talisman's been popped, but RNG don't like it. Not going to take this particular engage. As UP still able to get some wards over the side. Know that RNG aren't doing the Baron, but it's going to get cleared out pretty quick.
Yeah, actually using the scrying orb, I believe, to spot they're not in the Baron pit, and that's a sign that they're not doing the Baron. They're trying to cheese you and catch you on the way to the Baron pit. So again, Ezreal not using his ultimate for anything other than scouting the Baron at the moment to ensure they're not doing it. And that signals a lot about RNG's control in this game all of a sudden, is that it's completely and in its entirety in favor of them around the objective that is Baron. Unlimited Potential starting to push their way in now, knowing that they don't have the numbers there. But for that period of time, they had themselves a window to engage. They may have lost that window, but the gold leaders shrunk. Their power is still exponentially increased because of that inhibitor fight.
Yeah, but UP now managed to grab themselves back some Baron control, and it looks like this ward, the only one surviving here from RNG near the pit as Sketch takes half of his health. Xiao going to get caught up by that dredge line though as MLXG. He's got the ultimate from Shen on top of him. Sketch using the QSS already means that he can't get out of that shadow dash as he ignites down on top of him. Let Me is going to secure the kill in the end. MLXG trying to deal with this backline of UP is punished down very, very low. Lung able to net the kill onto Let Me. MLXG somehow survived as well as RNG going to clear out a pink ward on their way out, but they're very low.
Split focus from the RNG side. They couldn't commit to punish. Corki going all in whoosh, trying to find the kill onto punish, but he just gets away very slippery. And then the rest of the side of RNG focusing the tanks, the front members. Sketch the only big casualty of that fight, even using the QSS and Blade, but still going down. A very nice engage from Long, and it secures the knockup, which allows the Ezreal ultimate. That's one of the key factors of this team comp, is that it's impossible to dodge that ultimate combo. But they didn't get a direct kill from it. The Guardian Angel from Xiaohu, a very smart decision to ensure he doesn't instantly die from the burst that is going to come out of this unlimited potential side. And I say burst sparingly because Sketch is there, but if they kill Sketch first like they just did, it's their only burst.
Yeah, it's their only option here. 70. Oh my goodness, Lei again. Forced to use the flash out of the last Mystic Shock, so going to survive this time, but no flash pulverizers for this Alistair, and UP going to take this as an opportunity to do the Baron.
Deja vu right there.
Oh yeah.
The exact same thing happening again. They're going for this.
Yeah, there's the teleport out of Let Me as well. Ward in the back of the Baron pit at the same time. MLXG, he's going to get depth charge. Let Me's going to get knocked up. That's a three-man shadow dash from Let Me and a brilliant shockwave. There's the headbutt pulverized from Lei. Going to sacrifice himself in the end. Does eventually fall down. RNG, they have traded 2 for 1. RNG managed to get everything right, but it just didn't work out enough.
The Eve didn't even get to use her ultimate. That was the big issue, is she's just tried to engage, and Sketch can handily take her down before they can translate that into anything further. They get a nice fight. Punish goes down. But again, they just didn't have 5 collective members as a unit.
Yeah, there's the dredge line knock up onto Xiaohu as well. Sketch looking to try and take down the Jace, who just destroys Amy. Hard in there, stunning up Whoosh. And Xiaohu as well. Whoosh somehow still alive. Doesn't manage to get himself into this fight as Xiaohu gonna get the stands united. Long not doing any damage as Xiaohu's trying to look for heart. Accelerated Shock Blast not gonna be able to catch up to that lightning rush. Yeah, depth charge onto Whoosh. Almost kills the little Corki.
He's got him.
Xiaohu might be able to turn this one around, but he maybe actually just get double killed here as Lei and MLXG. They find their way in. True Shot Barrage just destroys Xiaohu there.
Jeez.
And Lung just tries to dredge line his way out. And RNG, they're just like, we are getting baited over and over again. I don't want any more of this.
He was still running at them by the end of it. That was just very awkward to be in that position. Nautilus getting a second ultimate off by the end of that fight. Ezreal back up alive. Gets a kill with his ultimate. At Unlimited Potential, they find a prolonged fight. It was something we spoke about at the very beginning. And you referenced the bot lane in that respect.
Oh, don't do it, MLXG.
I was going to say, that'd be like the 4th bait in a row, trying to kill Long. That did not work. But Again, to touch on the point, Corki, the rest of this RNG side are very good in their burst style of trades. It is almost the entirety of their team fight. Unlimited potential, if they can prolong the fight, poke them down, and then just all in, that's where they reign supreme.
Flash Shadow Dash is available by Let Me here if he wants to try and get his way into this fight. The Baron very, very low. MLXG looking to try and steal it. Doesn't grab it as Amy's in there. The Pulverize going to be available as Lay's going to get condemned out of here. So Sketch not going to catch that one. Jahu with the Shock Blast does kill the Vayne. Punish falls down as well. RNG finally finding a fight that they wanted.
They just get a better engage this time. They fight better around each other as a team, and they just kill the enemies of Unlimited Potential too quickly for them to do anything. Punish down again, Scatch down so quickly, and Hard is super squishy. So if he's ever in the backline, which he always is because he's a cannon, he spends most of his time running away immediately after pressing the ultimate. Unlimited Potential's just not able to continue to get these repeated fights that RNG are forcing onto them and make it hurt. They're going for the finish.
Yeah, Jahu looking to try and win the game here as Whoosh going to get the depth charge on top of him. Amy and Longo not with a whole lot of damage, but they do have the tankiness to try and get the RNG members out of here. Lay not going to get found by that dredge line as have to be careful of Amy as... Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's resigned himself to dying.
Yep. Oh, cute little true shot.
Had to be, didn't it?
It did.
That's pretty scary. They tried to end the game in overcommitment, but they are so far in control in terms of positioning on the map that they could go for that or just put some pressure down, get a turret. They do get one, so all in all, I mean, the gold lead is still actually in favor of Unlimited Potential by a sizable amount, back to what it originally was, about the biggest lead they've had so far. The third dragon goes down, so a bit of move speed, very handy for trying to live through this side of RNG's engage. It's just back to standard, basically, though, at this stage. You look at them both. Either one of them could win a fight. It comes down to execution right now because no one's directly in favor.
Yeah, and Let Me Now as well. Not deciding to go with the Trinity Force build. Looks like he's going to grab another Spectre Scout, possibly that Banshee's Veil as his 5th item here. So the Shen going to be incredibly tanky.
Oh yeah, the Shen's going to be a monster. It needs to be respected. And the fact that he can save someone else as well is that's a massive point to make. He can split push. He's just going to have this really big impact in the game right now if he can work around his strengths. Long doesn't have the teleport just yet. It'll be up very soon, so they can both get to a fight. But it's the fact that one of them has an overshield that can really impact the fight. If Unlimited Potential try to engage something, it can get turned around very easily, whereas the Nautilus is delayed. It's not an instant usefulness in a fight.
Yeah, and Jahu actually going to be split pushing at the moment. Doesn't have his Guardian Angel just yet, but it's going to be up in a minute or so. So that's when they'll probably look to fight. The slow push now on for these minions. Actually pretty fast shove there on the bottom side of the map for RNG. Going to try and position these waves aggressively so that UP will have to respond.
Yeah, you can see the wave control is favoring RNG right now, and that's one of the innate strengths of having a Shen at all, is that even if he's not in that side lane that's being affected, he's generally in the other one as well. So there's multiple things to consider at all stages. The Eve is still quite tanky. It's not really worth noting. The big factor right now for RNG is going to be this Jace, what he can do in fights, and if they can keep Jace alive.
Well, Amy, yeah, they're looking for the engage here. Headbutt out here, so no massive Nautilus for the beginning of this one as Lay's going to get the stand united. Unbreakable Will's looking pretty breakable at the moment. MLXG just gets destroyed. So much damage when UP get the engage they're looking for. True Shot Barrage finds Whoosh. He gets knocked up. Nice headbutt out for Lay, who sacrifices himself in the end. Final hour, just going to make sure that no one is escaping from this Vayne. And UP, they may have found it.
They have found their way in. They should be easily able to get this inhibitor now, but it is 2 against 5. Nobody going down from Unlimited Potential. RNG, they were just caught out of position. The Ezreal burst onto Lay has constantly surprised him right now. There is just no answer. You can't even press your ultimate in time. And he's so low that once a fight actually does break out, whether he's caught, whether they're trying to fight, he's spending most of his time trying to run with no health and his ultimate active.
Well, Jahu now with the Guardian Angel back up, but they've lost an inhibitor, so a couple of inhibitors down. Amy looking to try and defend the last remaining Nexus turret, but it's getting obliterated by these super creeps. Thankfully, there is a set of them coming in now as well, considering that bottom turret has fallen down. Bottom inhibitor, sorry. Jahu grabs himself a Gromp, but but he's 62 CS down now, and that's a 6-item punished.
Yeah, that's massive. That is a very, very scary Ezreal to consider. He has ramped up to the point where he's even upgraded his boots for alacrity enchantments to have some more move speed. Has the Dragon 3 buff to boot as well, so in a very scary position against this Ezreal. RNG looking to make a pick potentially. They know that they're not standing on wards. MLXG doesn't need to worry about that. He's an Eve.
And Eve standing still.
Yeah.
Oh, Tremorsen's going to spot him now.
They have pings on them.
They know exactly where MLXG is.
He's not even moving. Yeah, hang on, he was still there.
Yeah, they're still looking for him. Tremorsen's going to spot out the Evelyn. Dredgeline lands as there's the Stand United on top of this Eve, but he's just not very tanky. Lemmy finds his way into the fight, gets stunned up immediately. Shadow Dash not going to find anyone of note here as Wooch. He's off on the backside, able to do some work here. Xiaohu finally finding his way in, but all the tanks are dead on the side of RNG. Wooch is going to get singled out. Sketch grabs that kill, a double for the Vayne thus far as Lemmy looking to try and get himself to safety with Xiaohu. MLXG back in base, but UP, they're just looking to try and grab more objectives. As actually, Xiaohu does try and get a kill, but not going to get anything. It's another True Shot Barrage takedown there from Punish. Very, very cute stuff.
Basically trying to delay. They've all gone bottom, which indicates they're trying to finish the game and not let Jace recall. The Rek'Sai being a pain.
Oh my
Being a big pain. And they should even be able to do this.
Yeah, they are going to be able to take the victory here. Xiaohu unable to get back, and Sketch is going to take down the Eve. Amy pays for his annoyance.
Damn that Rek'Sai.
Yeah, that is a battle but not the war situation here as UP take down RNG for our first match of Week 8. And look, Ezreal's pretty strong in the mid lane, Rusty.
If there's one thing you can take from this game, it is almost entirely that fact. The Ezreal needs to be considered for the rest of these games on this weekend. The impact he had sitting mid lane, getting kills bottom, he just makes it all work for his team, whether he's winning lane or not.
Yeah.
They tried their best. Xiaohu did well in mid lane, but he could not translate that into anything. The Ezreal still could.
Yeah, Punished was just able to win multiple lanes as well. This is something that you mentioned sort of during the game, was the fact that an Ezreal, with that True Shot Barrage, the global availability, and its sort of large amount of utility that it offers. Of course, you think of it just as a damage spell, but you can control waves with it. You can finish off low enemy champions with it and create yourself a lead in the mid lane without actually having to leave. It's just ridiculous, the amount that you can use that ultimate for. Definitely,
and the fact that the rest of the team comp of Unlimited Potential worked around the Ezreal. They could first pick that. The rest of their draft reflected that they have the Ezreal, the all-in features of their team comp. The fact they've got stuns and knockups in particular. They changed for the Rek'Sai. They had the Nautilus ultimate. It's very hard to miss an Ezreal ult when they're knocked up and unable to move. So it's a big help for team fighting stages. So not only did they do well during laning phase for this Ezreal, they did well out of laning phase because they had a team comp around him. So it needs to be considered.
Yeah, and then Sketch just got to that late game Vayne stage where these big tanks weren't big tanks. The percent true damage, pretty silly coming out of those silver bolts. But we are going to go to a short break. When we get back, it's going to be game 2 between UP and RNG. Don't go anywhere.